Hi everybody, this is Rosemary and I'm going to be doing a walkthrough for my latest journal for the Neo-Victorian Steampunk Oddities swap. What a combination this is. So this is the best, my idea of this Victorian steampunk style. This is a book I picked up at a thrift store. This is 4 signatures. And I usually like to pick up my books from this pile of 5 for $1. And I pick my books based on the color of the cover. So this is the original cover. Nothing was changed, and I really like how it was done. Closure is a button with a gear and an elastic closure. So here we go. Inside, the first is very simple comparison to the rest. Okay, so I wanted to get, in this journal, I wanted to basically keep it black and white. My swap partner wanted some red. So these are some tags, and this is my red. So I tried, the book itself is all black, white, gray. And then there are tags which make them very striking when you put color into something that's black and white, as you can see there. So this is a circus group. Here's one of those pockets that are in with 2 tags. I use a dictionary page. This butterfly outline, when you separate napkins to Mod Podge them onto pages, there's sometimes a second little thin layer. So I put this thin layer, and there were faint outlines of butterflies. This is a very fragile dictionary page, and so this strengthened the page because, as you can see, it has a very detailed punch there. This is from a music score, and here's a doily as a you can use it as a tuck spot. Here's at the back, you can see the music there. Another side-loading pocket. This is my new favorite stamp. And again, I went to my stamping to give me that steampunk effect. I didn't really have steampunk paper. This is a napkin, Mod Podged on as a tag. Tim Holtz quote that I won't read because of the time. And this is a stamp that I had in my stash and never used it. I've fallen in love with it, and it's now, if you followed me, how I love to use frames. Again, I go to my thrift store. This was a set here, and there a pocket, and here's another tag in the back. Again, here's my frame. Like I said, Victorian Oddities. I didn't want to be morbid, so I picked kind of unique ones. So again, this was just my take on it. And here are some mermaids, and here's a tag with that red accent. This is a graphic 45 stamp with that steampunk flair. Then this is again, these look like gentlemen dressed up as women. So here's a tag behind it, and a stamp from Rare Graphic 45's Rare Oddity, and here's another tag I made. I found these printables on Pinterest, these children, that steampunk kind of effect. So again, you see they form a tuck spot, and I use these stamps as embellished paper clips, and just to add a little bit of whimsy. She's a snake charmer, and I guess during the Victorian period they were mostly women, so that's why I'm said charmed, I'm sure. Again, you can see how dramatic color is when you put it in a black and white album. And again, a mixture of my stamping. Here's a tuck spot. Now, one of the things I printed out were these collage sheets, and I started really liking them because they add a little bit of whimsy in unexpected places. So again, you can see I really pulled out my stamp collection to give this journal its steampunk flair. I have, because it's a junk journal, I try to limit my scrapbook paper, and I put music, dictionary pages on there just to make it sure it's a junk book. This is another one. Here's a stamp I just from Prima, like a little clip there, side loading clip. This is another, and it has another one of those collage images. And like I said, you may think they're kind of small and just kind of said, oh, what can I do with them? But they add a lot of that whimsy. This is one of my favorite printables. Life is very short, and there's no time for fussing and fighting, my friend. And so here I put a music score with a clock. And then I found all these collection of pictures where the women were not showing their face. They were giving us their backs. So I thought that was really odd, an oddity. So again, here's a tuck spot. Again, a collage picture. And this was interesting. These women had spoons on the kind of on their back there, and so I made a spoon tag to go with them. And so this is a section that you will see the women all hiding their faces. This is one of the rare pages I kind of left alone. Sometimes I do that, kind of rare. Put some quotes in this tuck spot, the stamping there. Here's another, this lady, she did a lot of these unique poses, and I put her in a frame. I guess she was a countess. This, if you follow me, this is one of my favorite stamps that I use as a tuck spot. You can see the doily, and it can stand alone, but I usually put something there to show people that there is a tuck spot. This butterfly, believe you can, and you're halfway there. This is the front of a score. Music score, which I thought was so ornate and so pretty. I cut it out, and here is again a butterfly, and because she wanted that red accent, so this is why I paired them off together. And you can see how dramatic color is in something like this. Okay, here's a hand, palm reading. This again, because of the lines, I left it alone for journaling. Here are the women. There are, I think, about 8 women, just showing their back and their long hair. Again, you see the shoe, steampunk affair, and how color. So these are clocks, and they're all tuck spots. So I thought they were kind of a fun way of dealing with a page like this. So I put tons of tags in here, so you can move them around. This is an envelope. This is a doorknob that I thought was a nice little stopper there. These women are from that collage sheet, and like I said, that Victorian oddity look. And since it was about Victorian oddities, I thought out of limitations comes creativity. And however you want to take that. These are a sign of embellished paper clips. And look at, isn't this little guy just darling? Frightfully sweet, all dressed up. Here's a side loading pocket, or a side pocket there. I think I have my turned around like that, so that's how it should be. Again, some of my pages are very ornate and some are very simple. This is a tuck spot right there. And here was a fun one. Look at this lady, beautiful dress, and just showing half of her. So I put her in one of my frames. And these women, and down here they said, meet us face to face. I don't know if it's like they're looking for a date or what. These are some new stamps I have here, and this is a tuck spot. And of course, because it was one of the last things I put in, it is stuck. There it is. And here are some women that says, he's all right. So I don't know, it looks like, sounds like a dating scene almost to me. So who knew about the Victorians such a way? This is an interesting one. Here's a family picture, and the mother is draped. I don't know. So this is a fun kind of collaged pocket with a tag right there and a tag in the back there. So this was funny. I don't know how they got the cat image on this. It looks like a mother and a baby. So again, here's one of those pockets that we see are kind of in fan chandelier, I don't know. And this is an interesting family scene, and it's a side-loading pockets. And again, the embellished paper clip. And oops, Stempunk. So there's some pictures of gears, and here's one of the tags I made. Forgot to put a ribbon on that. And my dictionary page. I got some new stamps, and so one of them was this border, which I love to put the borders. These were some children, and I thought it was so cute to pair it with these guys. Now, these men look like they're in suits. Sorry about my dog there. And with top hats. So the tag has a top hat and a mustache. And if you look at it sideways, it looks almost like a face. And that was the idea behind it. I should put 2 little dots for eyes. Okay, so just a small little tuck spot right here. My thoughts exactly. This is a pen stamp. Doorknob, embellished paper clip. This is really pretty. Bird cage and this feather, so I thought a bird would go with it. An advertisement. Here's an envelope, and my stop is actually a Tim Holtz eye chart right there. And this is an interesting pose. Looks like they're all military men. And up here I have a tag that says Workman's Time Book. So it's up there, and it kind of matches, and that's the whole idea I wanted with these tags. This is such an odd picture of, it looks like a Martian, this kid that they dressed up as a Martian. Like I said, Victorian oddities. And again, I thought it went with that steampunk stamping. You can see, and then this is a man dressed as a chicken. What, you know, that cartoon? I can't remember the name of that rooster. So I thought that was just so funny, such an oddity. Here's a little boy that, I don't know if they photoshopped it before or after. These are the stamps, and I always leave them blank for whoever receives this to put a comment or a quote. This is another interesting one. This man looks like the Michelin Man. So again, oddities. Again, these are the children collection, and I don't know how they did this, but so I thought they were kind of just fun. This is, again, put this cutout right in the middle there, and I think it adds kind of some interest right there on this tag. There's a tag right here, and there's a third tag. So this is where you kind of can use those collage sheets to make it kind of interesting. Even though I have a lot of interest, there is there are some components that I use throughout the book, and this dictionary page with the punching. This is some handwriting paper, and it is very thin, and it kind of shows through there, but I left it because I guess it could be some kind of design. So some stamping again. This is my graphic 45 mermaid. This man riding the fish. I think some of you might see it, and I think he kind of looks kind of neat the way it goes with this new newspaper look. Again, here's the octopus, the steampunk effect, and I thought the pig was kind of fun. These are the Victorian advertisements, which I really started to enjoy quite a bit. And here's again those little children. Used them throughout the book. my stamping. I'm probably going to put a flower right there. You know, you can always fix your stamping mistakes. It's not the end of the world. And here is an interesting illustration and my pocket. And I made a lot of tags and used them all up in here. This is just enclosed. This is, you know, when medicine was kind of, you know, drugs that we now consider illegal were medicines way back then. So if a person wants to take it out, it's just attached with a paper clip. And again, this stamping. This was a fun one where this girl is being taken on a bike ride. So, and to kind of go with the bike ride theme, I'm babysitting dogs. So please bear with me. Here's a tag, and it's like a race. Up here, the top of my tag has a bicycle. You can see it right there. I won't pull it out all the way. Some gears. This girl reminds me of Shirley Temple. And this is one of my favorite pages. I just put all these clocks there. And it looks kind of cute. Well, it's really hiding all these mistakes. Sometimes when you're having a bad stamping period and these lines don't connect, this is a good way of fixing them. So here we go. And again, some stamping with an embellishing paper clip. Music. Here's the envelopes. You know how we use them in the middle of a signature. So matching the music scores, I got from the scrapbook scraps. This is a favorite picture of mine. It's young people doing the tango. Inside is a tag. This is a frame, and it's really kind of a booklet. So you can write on there, or you can glue it down like a book. Embellished paper clip. Stamping. This was an interesting Victorian picture where the man is dressed as a woman and the woman is dressed as a man. So, okay, whatever. And some gears. This was a fun picture. This group seems to be having a lot of fun at the dance. And this is an interesting picture. Here these girls are posed, and this looks like a pet bird. So this is a pocket with a doily and a bird cage tag right there. And here again a stamp, contemplations. And my last picture right here. I don't want to start this all over again, so please bear with me. Is a picture of this little girl attached a heart, and down here envelope. And with this, I'm going to be finishing this video. The back, I kept it very simple, just a simple pocket. And here, that's the last page right there. And it closes with this. And this is the back of the book. And so begins, this is my walkthrough for my Neo-Victorian Stempunk Oddity book. Thank you for watching and bearing with my dogs.